Well, it's kind of funny. I'm a former college professor, and I got thrown out of high school. I was going to give a talk in Knoxville, Tennessee, and the venue was at a high school, but when some Muslims complained about it, the superintendent of schools decided that, it is the purpose of education to provide a safe, comfortable environment, and evidently either what I was going to say wasn't safe or I'm making people uncomfortable, which is true. But the superintendent decided that Knox County didn't need to have any critical thought or facts-based reasoning going on in their school system because, you see, it makes people uncomfortable, Muslims in particular. One of the Muslims said, there's kind of an aggressive tone to the flyer about this talk. And I thought to myself, you mean aggressive like in Surah 9 where it says to cut off my head because I'm a kafir? Or maybe do you mean aggressive like the day Muhammad killed 800 Jews by cutting their heads off? You mean aggressive like that? No. I'm not an aggressive kind of person. I don't raise my voice. I don't insult. I just use fact-based reasoning. But now we get to the nut of the matter. Because you see, the Muslims brought up the fact that the Southern Poverty Law Center says that I am a hater. Now, the Southern Poverty Law Center is a very interesting institution. They're worth over $250 million. They hold money in offshore accounts, and their executives live in high palatial style. And, by the way, they are the consultant on hate groups to a lot of people. They used to be the consultant on hate groups to the FBI, but the FBI found out that these people don't have a criteria for hate. The Southern Poverty Law Center decides who's a hater by, well, I guess it's a feeling in their stomach or something. But anyway, they don't have any criteria. And so they have no criteria for calling me a hater either. But they do, and the Knox County schools decided, we don't need any haters in our school, so Bill's out of school. Now, there's 2 points that need to be clear. The Muslims are right when they say that I should not be allowed to talk about the Sharia, because the Sharia says that non-Muslims are not allowed to say anything that makes other Muslims feel uncomfortable, or they just have to not like it. So it turns out that the Knox County schools are enforcing Sharia law. Of course, based on what the superintendent says, the Knox County schools doesn't know Sunnah from tuna and doesn't know Muhammad from molasses. But they do know this. There's a fascistic wave happening in America, and it is the purpose of fascism to let the government dictate what the thoughts of the citizens will be. I can remember when the left and the liberals thought that fascism would come to America from the right. But instead we see that fascism is rising in America, because I'm not the only one who's been told the government does not like what you say, and the government says you can't say it. Remember I mentioned the FBI earlier? Well, my papers used to be considered as part of the training on counterterrorism, but the FBI was told by the Muslim Brotherhood that they don't like what I say, and for no other reason than that, my papers were thrown out. But this is a serious problem because more and more people like CAIR, that's the Council on American Islamic Relations, dictates what the media will portray and what will happen in the public marketplace of ideas. So, on one hand, I make light of the fact that the old college professor has been thrown out of school, but what's happening here is that I'm riding the crest of a wave of fascism in America, where it doesn't matter what the truth is, it doesn't matter what the facts are. The government has decided that I shall not speak, as long as a lot of others. That's a serious problem. Think about it. We want the government determining our truth? I thought we determined the government, but it's not working out that way. Or at least it didn't in Knoxville. Oh, by the way, the talk's going on, but with a different venue. Have a nice day.